What is up, YouTube? Long time no see. My name is Ranee B, bringing you that homicidal tea, and excuse the Kool-Aid on my fingers. This week we're here bringing you the story of Wesley Nelson. He was a 53-year-old man from small woods outside of New Orleans, and he was just minding his own business, trying to get him some good old suds to cap off a night of gambling, and just ran into some wrong people. So unfortunately, that's why we're here. You know, it's never really a good story if you're here. So I recommend that you please like and subscribe. We're building up those subscribers. Last time I had 4, I've got 7 now. I'm so popular. It's insane. You know, I don't know if this might change our relationship because 7 people, well, it's pretty cool. So I don't know if I can deal with you people. And down there with my Kool-Aid stained hands. If you like this look, if you like this makeup, this is fun. I have purchased this. This is a little makeup face paint kit, and I got this on Amazon. It's a lot of fun. It really is, and it was so cheap, and we'll see how it lasts. Used it on my lips, and I used it on my eyeshadow, and then I'll link to it in the description. This one isn't a very long one today, so hopefully I can get some longer ones that aren't 2 hours, but aren't 5 seconds. So anyway, until the next video, we'll see you then. All right, our story starts in 2015, July 31st, actually. A man was found collapsed in the street in a pool of blood in the early morning hours of New Orleans. Police said a 53-year-old man was found dead on Friday in Little Woods in the street intersection of eastern New Orleans. Now, the man was shot in the head and a pool of blood was on the street, and that was at the corner of Venice Boulevard and Wells Street in front of a residential neighborhood. And one of his relatives was leaving for work at about 6 a.m. and they stepped outside to find Nelson in the street. And it was less than like 20 feet from his house. And the police did confirm that he died of multiple gunshot wounds to the head. Police also found some evidence on the scene that he may have been the victim of a robbery. However, he had $90 in his wallet, and they found a still cold can of beer. So earlier that morning, he told his son that he was going to go get a beer because he had forgotten to get one whenever he was gambling. So that kind of made sense that there was a beer on scene. But what didn't make sense was that he still had money in his wallet. So that didn't, yeah. But his son had stated to the police that around 2 to 2:30 is whenever he had left to go get that beer. Well, detectives received a call that next morning, and they didn't say who from, stating that the victim had attacked the daughter's boyfriend, actually causing him to have to get stitches. So the detectives asked the family about the fight, and then after they interviewed them, they actually felt reasonably comfortable that it wasn't this gentleman, that his alibi was rock solid, and you know, they just have their own ways of knowing whether or not someone's being truthful with them, and they felt extremely confident that this wasn't a lead. So that lead dried up pretty quick. The next morning, the case, though, takes a pretty wild turn. A woman comes down to the station, and she wants to speak to detectives because she had overheard some people talking. And what they were talking about was that she had overheard some people that she was hanging out with that night before say, "Listen, dude, have you seen the news yet? Because we think that we were caught on video." And they were at the Brothers gas station that night, and they were there, you know, buying beer or whatnot. And this guy that was standing there was saying how weak he was and how he was really sick and how he would have really appreciated, you know, if he could get a ride from someone. But he wasn't really directly asking. He was just saying, you know, I just hate the fact that I gotta walk home because I'm out of breath and all this stuff. And he was just going on, and it was just friendly banter and whatnot. Right before they leave the gas station, the girl that's with the group of gentlemen that Wesley is talking to overhears this, and she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna give you a ride. No problem. No, I don't need your money, whatever." But Wesley still stops off at the ATM and grabs a little bit of money before they leave. So there's, at this point, from the witness's statement, there's a total of 3 men and 1 girl, and she's the driver. It's her car. And then to add Wesley, that's a total of 3 men. So there's 5 people total in the car. Wesley got in the front seat, and the other 3 gentlemen got in the back. And so they start heading down the street back toward Wesley's house. And this is all at about 2:30 a.m. See if I can get these lined up. Not too crazy. Yeah. Like they say, they ain't twins, but they sisters. Now, the makeup's going to go on a little bit of a wild ride today. So I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but wish me luck. Because this is the first time I've ever used these. When they pulled up to the house, after they had taken the gentleman down the street, the guy in the back seat shot Wesley in the back of the head. And what they were concerned about is that they had been seen on the cameras. And so that's what they were all talking about that morning prior. Snowplow, sorry. So this woman calls in and she's like, well, I've got names if you want them. And they're like, well, hell yeah, we want those names. And she's like, okay. And she gave them the name of the girl that was driving. And she said, oh, and you need the name of the guy. It goes by money too. And they're like, yeah, he's the shooter. And she said, oh, well, that's Ronald Claude. Boom. Suspect numero uno. Well, 6 days later, old girl that's driving comes in with her attorney and drops it all. She proceeds to tell investigators exactly what happened and that they were at the gas station and they were out of money and they needed money for gas and whatnot. So they started talking to Wesley and he was talking about how sick he was and that the girl felt sorry for him, just like the witness had come in and said that she'd overheard the talking about the week before, whenever she had came in and given her statement. But what wasn't told was that as they pulled up to West's house, Wesley had asked them, hey, does anybody got any green on them? Has anybody got any weed? And 2 of the gentlemen in the back seat were carrying weed. And they said, yeah. So he says, here, let me smell it. And so he smells one of the bags and then gives it back and then smells the other bag. And says, okay, well, I like old boys. And that's not Money's weed that he liked. He liked the other guys. And Money then responds, this would be Ron Claude, responds, man, that's my money. That's fucked up. And says, you know what? How about I take all your money? Boom! Shoots him, just execution style, right there, point blank in the head. And so the girl whose car it was freaked out and said, okay, I'm not down with this. I was trying to help this man, and you can have my car. Take it, take it, take it. And so her and the other guys in the back seat get out of the car, and Ron Claude takes off. And they don't see him or hear from him again. And so then the hunt is on for Ron Claude. They do an all points bulletin. Be on the lookout. Yada, yada, yada. That's turning out pretty neat, if I say so myself. All right, well, so cops are on the lookout. Can't find him anywhere. So the hunt for Ron still goes on. They can't find him anywhere. They look high and low. Cannot. Months go by. Boom, boom, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. He's gone. He is gone. Then, a year later, guess who turns up? Boom, they get a hit on the little internal database, the little fingerprint. Guess who got booked in Dallas, Texas? Mr. Ron Claude. Well, he gets extradited back to New Orleans. But he doesn't say anything. He's silent. Silent as a goose. Just, I guess that's not a very good acronym, or that's not a very good comparison, because geese are loud as hell. He's as silent as I am right now, trying to think of something, because my brain dead ass can't think of anything. So you get the picture. Anyway, so then they got enough. I mean, they have got the video. They've got this witness statements. They've got plenty to book this guy. So they go ahead and they get their arrest warrant. They charge him with first-degree murder. That's where the first 48 episode ended. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a really good gradient. It's face paint. That's where that first 48 episode ended. That's the only thing about this face paint is you gotta use water with it. It's weird. It's just like when, it's the same exact stuff that you use at a carnival to paint little kids' faces, but anyway. It's just changed a lot. Well, like I said, that's where the episode closed. And they were waiting on old Ron Claude to get, you know, he was waiting for his trial to start and everything. And the other people were just, he was the only one that was charged with it. Well, New Orleans, they're sneaky. They're real sneaky. And I don't know how they get away with this personally, because I've seen that this is a tactic that they use quite a bit. Well, all those other people that were in the car, which were later identified as Hakima Camp, Tatiana Johnson, and Sheldon Williams, they were initially treated as witnesses. Well, in October 2018, after prosecutors struggled to secure their appearances in court, guess what? District attorney said, boom, charge them with second-degree murder. And they did. So what started out as, well, I'm going to save my ass, and I'm going to come to court, and I'm going to testify against this guy. Whenever they started giving them grief, guess what? Their agreements were no longer valid. Boom. You guys are guilty for murder too. That federal statute, whenever you are in the process of committing a felony and someone dies, you can be held responsible for that murder. It goes right here. Guess what? There was a drug deal going on. They were all there, witness to it. And therefore, if anybody dies during the commission of that drug deal, boom, you're part of it. So all four were set to go on trial. And they said that they were the key witnesses to the murder were actually facing life in prison themselves. So it was a very strange twist and turn of events, because usually you don't see that. The witnesses usually show up and they honor their deal that they've made because they don't want to go down with it. But New Orleans, they don't screw around. They're no. You don't want to work with us? Well, guess what? You're going to have to either work with us or you're going to go down with them, which is exactly what they did. The very small silver lining to this is that Ron Claude actually pled guilty to manslaughter, and this caused prosecutors to not need their witness testimony, so they didn't have to put as much pressure on them. And in doing so, they all pled guilty to accessory to murder. And I couldn't really find where it showed what the other guys had pled to for their being an accomplice to murder or accessory. But during Ron Claude the shooter's trial, at the very end, he had expressed a great amount of remorse, supposedly, because you know how those people can be pretty good actors. Well, the judge bought it hook, line, and sinker. I don't know if it was real or not, but the judge said that because of the remorse that he had displayed, rather than give him a 40-year sentence, he gave him a 20-year sentence. Okay. So I guess if you cry enough and or put on a good enough show at sentencing, you can secure a better deal than you probably could have gotten through your attorney. I don't agree with that, but whatever. Because you know what? Who knows how long it took Mr. Nelson to die on that street by himself, and I didn't see anybody have any emotion at that time to help him and or to give him any assistance or to even just comfort him as he goes into the next phase of existence. No, you were a coward. You took off, and they had to drag your ass from Dallas to come back and face what you did, and now all of a sudden you get a little bout of consciousness. Oh, shut up. I mean, I don't understand how these lawyers and these judges are like, well, you just showed so much remorse there, Sonny. Oh, no. You know what? Throw the book at them. I just think that it should be automatic executions. I've said that before. Except whenever, I watched I think it was That Chapter, Maiko. Oh, I love that chapter. But it was one about two guys. I can't remember their names. One guy was named Ryan. He was pretty good looking. But they had been indicted on a charge where they had murdered, I think it was the Columbus Tribune murder. And one of the kids got blacked out drunk, and he was afraid that he'd done it and started jabbing about it. And then someone turned him in trying to get that Crime Stopper money. And it turned out those guys didn't even do it. But they were, yeah, they went through. So according to my line of thought, they would have been executed immediately, and they didn't even do the damn thing. So don't listen to me. But it's an interesting postscript to know that, you know, as they were giving out these sentences and everything, is that, yeah, the thing is that they could have just robbed the dude. They could have pushed him over and taken his money. Why'd they have to kill him? Why? I mean, like, the last thing supposedly he said in the car to the old dude was, well, that's my money now. Well, okay. He had late stage cancer and emphysema. I mean, how hard would it have been to be like, that's my money now, yoink. Yeah. What's he going to do? And he did it in front of his own house. I mean, I don't know. It's just that was just a poor decision. I just don't think that line of, well, you feel bad now, son, let's give you a less sentence. No. The guy was about to die anyway, and instead you took him out that way. That's just wrong. So, anyway. And like I said, I don't know what happened to the other people in this. Y'all gotta learn how to do this. This makes putting on lashes so easy. It's amazing how easy it is to do lashes now. It's almost criminal. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the judge should have been as lenient? Do you think that he should have, you know, do you think that he should have, I keep saying, do you think that they should have thrown the book at those other witnesses? I think so. I think that, you know, if you make a deal and you don't honor it, then guess what? It's an open season and you're in the crosshairs of the prosecution. So whatever they got to do to get their case against, oh boy, is what they do. I don't understand why they were crying and moaning about that. I'm going to play with this lipstick as this face paint. I'm going to play with that lipstick. So give me a second. I thought this one was going to be a lot longer. But I'm out of time. But I'm still talking. I still ain't even done my makeup yet. Oh, that's so cool. See, this thing, it just works. Get this off of Amazon. It is so neat. I got to remember to link to that. It's one of the things that Bailey Sarian said to get. And it's just, it's pretty damn cool. Look at that. How much fun is that? Automatic gradient. I love it. Now, I don't know, because I tried to use this on Friday at work when I snuck off to the bathroom when it came in the mail. And it does get all over your teeth. So I'm not quite sure how you can seal it. But if you use it as a liner and then put a gloss inside, then you have a friggin' beautiful red. Oh, I love that red. It's gorgeous. Probably look cross-eyed because my monitor's right there. So, sorry. But the color, on. A couple of the other cases that I want to do, they're really long. Gosh, they're so long. So I don't know how that'll work. So I gotta figure out how to, I might have to make them a two-parter. That's just all there is to it. But anyway, that is the end of our case. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments. Especially local cases. Cases that haven't gotten the publicity that the other cases, like the, you know, right now, what's the big case going on now? I don't even know. Let's just, for all intents and purposes, let's just say, you know, like the Chad Daybell case or whatever, Lori Vallow, them, that's pretty popular. People know about that. I don't want that kind. I want like the kind that nobody's heard of, that is, you know, just from your area, from locally. These face paints are fun. Oh my goodness. They're a lot of fun. I don't know how long wearing they are, but you can have a sunset on your eyeballs and your lips. It's fun. Anyway, so that's all I got for today. If you have any recommendations, like I said, please put them down in the comments. If you have anything to add, anything to comment about, I will definitely answer and look at those. I get notifications on my phone whenever you guys watch, whenever you guys subscribe, which I highly recommend that you do. And also, just let me know if you guys know those cases. Just give me some insight on what to post next, because like I said, those other ones I have are like 2-parters easily. And that's it. We'll see you in the next video soon. Thanks.